So yesterday was indeed a down day, and it's been a confusing trend all over the Wall Street. One day on the upside, one day on the downside. Dow Jones is telling you something else. Nasdaq is telling you something else. But yesterday, everything was down and down by quite a bit. So this is a confusing trend, and if you are not a pro, if you are not somebody who knows in and out and who knows how to do disciplined trading, please stay out of this market, because levels does not matter, and the problem here is market is unable to hold on or to sustain above some crucial levels, or it hits the resistance and then falls back. So that is very clear in the market. And one more thing, generally I talk about the all three indices, but these kind of job cuts, now Disney has also announced a job cuts, and we now see all the global companies are doing job cuts to make their profit and loss statement looks good. But this is not a good trend. I mean, on one side, you are cutting the jobs to just to make sure that there will not be any earnings cut or price cut by the analyst. This is not going to sustain, because beyond a certain point, not even companies goes for further job cuts. So things need to be looked at with a different perspective right now. So this is not at all a good trend, and let us see what has happened and what will probably happening. And by the way, this is a chart of dollar index, and you can clearly see an uptrend is going on as far as dollar index is concerned. And I've been talking about it for the last couple of days on my different social media platforms. So this is another thing that we are going to look at, because if dollar index continues to sustain above 103.3, the next upside will push it in between 106 107. So it will definitely reflect in the stock market. So let us see what Dow Jones is telling us. And Dow Jones yesterday also, the trend was indeed very clear, because it hits the upper end of the range, and I have specifically said either wait for the breakout or take a short position with a stop loss of 34,175 and 34,250. And that is something what has happened. Dow Jones unable to hold on to its level, and it hits the high of 34,108 and started falling down. Now it is somewhere in the middle of the range, which simply means things can happen on both the side. Okay, because it is trading in between some important moving averages. It may again start moving up, or it may fall down. Both the situations are now uh, you know the probability of both the situation is 50-50. So it would be better if you stay out of this kind of trend. Okay, do not trade in Dow Jones. Dow Jones is not clear, it is trading in between the range. It may go up, it may go down, both the things can happen. So this is something which we need to look at. Now talking about Nasdaq, because Nasdaq and S&P 500 for the last 2 days are showing some, the trend was completely different. So if Nasdaq uh, is not or unable to hold on to its level, that's a very, I would say, scoopy thing right now, because if you take long position, and if you are not clear whether it will sustain or not, so it's going to increase your risk substantially. Anyways, there is still, it is still holding above its support. So 11,848 is the level that we are going to look at as far as Nasdaq is concerned. And if it continues to sustain above 11,848, then it is fine. Okay, in that case, we are still hopeful that once it hits the support line, it will jump higher, and the target, in which case uh, will be in between 12,754 and 13,187. So this is going to be this line is going to be your support and stop loss. Please don't go below this, because if Nasdaq falls below this line, obviously it is not good. And because it is in a correction mode within the range, so it is fine, and it is very near to its support. So with this support, we can actually move higher. So this is another thing which we need to look at. So the trend is intact, or the range is intact for Nasdaq. So I think the same you will find in S&P 500 as well. You can see, because both will show the similar kind of trend, and S&P 500 is actually trading at its support level. So with a support and stop loss of 4100 on the downside, we can go for 4260 and 4300. So this is the range that we are going to look at moving forward, but uh, please don't go below the support level. So now for today's trading session for 9th of February, every indices is giving you different flavors. For Dow Jones, it is like no trade. For Nasdaq, wait for the support to hit, and for S&P 500, the support has already been tested, and now it is the time for the S&P 500 to move higher. So this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching.